Welcome back, everybody. I want to talk to you about Q3 and Q4, obviously being the different quarters of the year. And if you look at publicly traded companies, they're required to report their earnings every single quarter. And this is actually something in the last few years we've been really focusing at CIR as well on a corporate perspective, is we want to know our quarterly performance. It's good enough for public companies to be accountable to their shareholders. It's got to be good enough for us, and it should be good enough for you. So we've actually just finished on June 30th, the first 2 3-month quarters of the year. So how'd it go? And I know that Q1 and Q2 for a lot of realtors has just been a whirlwind. And even this whirlwind is an extension from probably June of last year, which means that for 12 months, you've been absolutely running nonstop. You haven't been able to go everywhere. There's been lockdowns, but you've still been forced to go out there and service clients and work within your business, and without a break in a lot of cases. So moving into restrictions opening up, the landscape of business changing, maybe one of the things you've done also is you haven't been doing as many prospecting activities in your business as you were previously. So what is the next few months going to hold in your business? Is things going to slow down? Are you okay with that? Are you going to be positioned for the fall? If by not doing anything, if you plan on taking a bunch of time off, do you feel like you're burning out? How are you going to adapt to that? Or have you just, you've been a bit in lockdown yourself and you've been dealing with your kids and homeschooling. So it's time for you to ramp your business up. Whatever position you are, control falls awareness, and it's time to get aware and get very deliberate. I love that word. I even said in the last segment a whole bunch. You want to get very deliberate about the choices that you make. You always have 2 aspects to your personality, I believe. I have smart Lindsey and I have dumb Lindsey. Smart Lindsey makes the decisions in advance, puts the plans in place in advance in order to create the time, the capacity, and the direction for my life so that in the fog of it all, dumb Lindsey is just working on autopilot. Dumb Lindsey is moving forward, just implementing the plan that smart Lindsey made, because you can't make choices in the fog of it all. It's difficult when you're just running. Your last appointment finishes up at 11 p.m. You just wake up and you're up at 7 a.m. to take your kids to school, and you're right back at it all over again. You don't have time to make smart strategic decisions. So today, I want you to pause. I want you to take a step back if you haven't done this already, and take a look and plan for the second half of the year. So let's take a look. 2021, 6-month business review and planning, build a sustainable business. And my mentality with sustainable for many people, there's obviously the financial aspect of building it sustainable, but also just from your energy levels. What does a sustainable business look like? First question we have to ask ourselves anytime is what happened in the first half of 2021? So how much did you make? Write it down. Now, you guys aren't going to be able to do this on the fly here. You need to book time to finish off this plan at the end of this, because we're only going to be spending 10 minutes here, hopefully. Where did you spend your money? Where did your business come from? What was the sources of business? Was it repeat and referral? Did you get some from online lead generation? Did you was it social media stuff? Where did your business come from? What went well within your business? And what needs improving? So that's all I want you to do for the first half of 2021. Ask yourself these questions, and what needs improving. It might be you need to generate more leads. You've kind of wrapped up a lot of the business you have, and you don't have any new business coming in, or you just need a break, and that's okay. So this is my next question. Is it time for a break? Well, did you take any time off yet? If you haven't, then my first question is, what gives you energy? Is it beach vacations? Obviously, there's still travel restrictions going on. The U.S. border has opened up a little bit to permanent residents and citizens of Canada. But what gives you energy? Is it going out and playing around a golf? That's something that gives me a ton of energy. And after playing 18 holes of golf, I feel recharged. Okay, is it night off watching movies? What is it? Is it hanging out with the family? Is it taking a break and getting off to have a little bit of personal time? Is it doing some sort of exercise or something? So figure out what gives you energy on the next week here. So what are you going to do kind of on a daily basis? What are you doing on a monthly basis? And what are you going to do to recharge your batteries each quarter? I was talking to one of our realtors that's got a coach with a coaching organization here, and they're saying, what are you doing to take one day off each week, and making sure that you are taking off a full week each quarter as well. And that's something that I think every realtor should aspire to. So getting that done. Plus, every day you should be taking at least an hour to yourself if you can find that time. So really, really be deliberate to do this, and ask yourself this question: what would need to happen in your business to have regular recharge time? I should probably say recharging, but when you want to recharge, what can you do to position yourself today? Get that smart aspect of your personality today to make a decision that's going to help you out tomorrow. Zero-based thinking. So imagine yourself back at a point before decisions were made, and now you are free to make new decisions with the knowledge that you have now. Love zero-based thinking. Scrap everything you had beforehand. Obviously, it's going to be an evolution, but you can start evolving your business today. So just take another outside perspective on it when you're taking the next half of this presentation, and ask yourself, or the next part of this presentation, and ask yourself, what are you going to be doing different in the second half? And that's important. Because whatever you did in the first half of 2021 got you those results. So what are you going to do different now in the second half? Because you have to do something different. If the first half of 2021 led you into burnout, what are you going to do in the second half that's going to allow you a bit more balance and an opportunity to build a more sustainable business? What you're doing right now led you to the results, either with a ton of business and lots of free time, or with no free time and a ton of business, or lots of free time and no business. Whatever position you're in right now, that's a result of your actions. Okay? So you have to do something differently. Great place to start is this, with a SWOT analysis. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Be very honest. Don't whitewash this. What are the opportunities available in the marketplace? And what are the current and possible threats in the marketplace? Okay, there's lots of opportunities. There's lots of threats. I'm not going to go into all of them right now, but it's important. What do you want your Q2 and Q3 businesses or business to look like? Who's the type of clients you want to work with? What do your clients think of when they hear your name or see your marketing? What's that theme? What's the brand that you're creating out there and putting out to the marketplace? How many hours per day, per week, per month are you working? What new systems or labor support do you need? And that could be where, we were talking at one of our strategy group meetings the other day, and someone had us like, I just don't have time to do this marketing aspect, to get my newsletter out, and they haven't sent out their newsletter in 2 months. Well, hire somebody just for that piece. Like maybe you show somebody and you just hire them a couple hours each month just to get your newsletter out. You don't need a part-time assistant. You just need somebody to do that aspect. So what activities or can you bring some labor support to help you get them implemented, to bring some consistency to your business? And how much do you want to be making? That's important. Maybe you've had a new perspective on that. COVID actually changed a lot of people's mentalities just about what's important to them in life. One of our foundational things is the 4 real estate habits. So how are you going to implement the 4 key real estate habits? And the habits are this. Number 1, you need to be generating new business every single day, either having systems in place that are doing it or you are actively doing it. 2 to 4 hours. If you're busy and run off your feet, it's 2 hours. If you have no business, it's 4 hours. Number 2, business and financial tracking. You got to learn how those activities performed and how the rest of your business is performing in order to make strategic, sound decisions. You need skill development and role playing weekly. You need to improve on your skills. This is going to help you become more efficient and get more results when you're working with your clients. And number 4, this is a big one for the theme for this one, is that you need systems development daily. If you found yourself run off like a chicken with your head cut off, you probably have crappy systems. You probably don't have any labor support. You probably don't have anybody that you can delegate items to. So making sure that you're spending time each day to examine your systems and improve them to make it more efficiently, to build your capacity to do more with less is super important. And once you free up that time, you can just use it to recharge, or some people are going to use it to, step harder on the gas and build more business. But remember, you can't move forward unless you stop every once in a while to put gas in the vehicle. So let's just go through these each one really quickly here. Generate new business every single day. Habit number 1. Who are you trying to reach with your marketing? Who's your audiences? Who are you trying to talk to? What are you trying to make them believe and feel about you? That's that, back to that image. What are you doing each day to get your message to them? Obviously, social media, taking out online ads, calling people. There's a bunch of tools that we can do this. Email campaigns, pop buys, getting together with people, holding webinars. There's a ton of things that you can do, but you're actually customizing this messaging to that audience. What are you doing to add value to them? And what are the daily activities that must be completed in order to do this? So get clear. So when you wake up in the morning, you can dive right into your business generation because you know exactly who you're talking to, what you're talking to them about, and how you're going to communicate with them. Moving on to our habit number 2, business and financial tracking weekly, 1 to 2 hours. How are you tracking your business? How are you tracking your market activities, your financials, your leads, appointments, etc.? How much are you going to reinvest in your business in the second half of the year? If you made some money in the first half, gosh sakes, don't go out and just buy yourself a new car. Reinvest it in your business to make it more sustainable, to produce more revenue or free up more time. Skill development and role playing weekly. What don't you know and what do you have to learn to implement your plan? What skills do you need to develop and practice? See, a lot of times we talk about these things. You track your business and suddenly you realize that, gosh, I just don't know how to track my books properly, or I don't know why I'm not converting any of the leads that I'm getting. Well, now it's time for some skill development. Now you got to learn. You got to learn and practice and research best practices and attend some courses and things like that to get your skill level up. And our last one here is habit number 4, system development daily, spending an hour on it. How are you delivering on the services in your business? i.e., your listing process, your buyer process, your marketing process, your lead and client follow-up process, your administration, paperwork, financial process. Who does what? Are you the person that has to do all of this? And if so, what can be delegated out? This is probably something that's taking up a lot of your time and you don't need to be doing a lot of this. A way to achieve this is through time blocking. We talk about time blocking at length. It's the key to get stuff happening. And I want you to schedule in 3 things, but there's 4 on the list because I added 1 and I didn't change the number 3 to number 4. So there's 4 things that you need to schedule in. Number 1, time to finish this plan. So go back, review this, go back to this video, scrub it. This will be posted up in a day or 2 here on our virtual office tomorrow probably. Review this plan, go through it, spend 2 hours making your notes and doing this. Number 2, schedule in recharge time for yourself. Even if it's just a couple hours to start, that can eventually build up. How do I take a couple hours off? How do I take a half day off? How do I take a day off? How do I take 3 days off, a long weekend? And then how do I take a week off? And it might take you some time to evolve up to that, but if you focus on it and you make the time to be deliberate about improving your business around that, in a few months, you'll be able to do that. Number 3, daily time to generate new business, 2 to 4 hours. We talked about that. You need to schedule that in every day. I'm talking 5 days a week there, by the way. And number 4, you need to schedule in time to plan the rest of your habits. So this is going to be, when are you doing your financial tracking time? When are you going to do your skill development time? What are the next skills you need to learn? What courses are you going to take to understand that? I highly suggest you take a look at our virtual office in the professional development section. There's Institute by Leading RE in addition to our video library with resources on anything that you want to learn. It's all in here. You just need to take the time to go in, plus checking our training calendar or asking around in order to find out what you need. Even Google is a very powerful tool. So the theme here, make 2021 a year to be proud of. That is your 21 second half Q2, Q3 business review. I really want to encourage you guys to do it. If you do exactly the same thing you did in the first half of the year, a lot of you are going to have a great year financially, but you're going to want to quit the business after, a few months. And that's not going to be sustainable for the long term of your life. You want to make sure that you build a business that you can operate sustainably and that can, grow with you and grow with your lifestyle. So highly encourage you to take this time, do this review, and get very deliberate about your next action steps. I hope you guys enjoyed the meeting today, and I want to wish you guys an awesome summer. I'll see you guys again in a few weeks, and I look forward to seeing a lot of you in person now as the restrictions lift. All the best. We'll talk to you guys soon.